Hey guys, so I decided I wanted to talk about just sort of like imposter syndrome, I guess, and how it just seems super interesting to me. Um, I'll be doing like one of these videos a week, so just in case, like, I don't know, I don't get a hearts of iron video out of even for a video about that week, people that like my content for my personality. I know it's not obviously like directed that much in the content, but people that want my personality they've still got something to watch. So, um, talking about imposter syndrome, in case you don't know what it is, it's basically like you look at what you've done in the past and you kind of judge yourself off of how good something did. Like, let's say, you see this a lot with YouTubers. They look back and see that they were getting a million views a day, and then, you know, now all of a sudden they're getting 500,000 views a day. And they look at that and they're like, wow, you know, it must be my fault. And it's basically, I guess, judging yourself off of something that you can't necessarily control. You can't really control how many views you get. That's somebody else deciding to watch your content, you know? And it's basically that. And so I was thinking about it, I just talked about it, but like I basically just said this exact same thing, but I went over the amount of time I wanted to. Um, but you can kind of see the same thing with like people and their grades in school. I mean, I know that a lot of people watching like EU4 and HOI4, they're probably in high school, like freshman, sophomore. There's probably some people that are like 17, 18, But, it, you guys are probably still in school. And there's this thing of like, you get a bad grade, and it might not stay necessarily a bad grade, but you know, I I didn't do this as much because I didn't really care about grades as much as other people usually do. But my senior year, which was this year, I kind of fell into that trap of imposter syndrome with like, I was doing really good in my grades this year compared to the others. And it's not like I was trying super hard, but I was getting my work turned in. That was my issue for like the first 3 years of high school was I just wasn't turning in work as much as I should have. And so I got into my senior year. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get just A's and B's, and I'll be fine with that. And I did more than that my first semester. My first semester, I got all A's and got an honor roll. And now I was like, wow. I mean, it wasn't that hard because all my classes were easy because I'm a senior, but I was like, that's nice. And I got into hybrid classes because around the time that my second semester started, there was, the pandemic hit my county really, really hard. Like, there were hundreds of cases being reported every day. There were like 10 people dying a day. It was crazy. And they were still keeping everything open. So I was like, you know, my mom could have like literal heart diseases and she's pre-diabetic. It's like I don't want to get sick and bring that back to my mom or my sister who has thyroid problems and all this other stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna do hybrids, so I at least get to see my friends, but I don't have to go have a chance of getting infected every single day. So I did hybrid, and my grades started to drop because, well, hybrid is, you do everything at your own pace, basically. So, as you can imagine with what I said about the first 3 years of high school, I'm not very good about turning work in. Like, I'm a very big procrastinator, basically. So I would wait, the first semester, not first semester, first quarter of the last semester, I just kind of didn't do anything for a month because I got like a medical problem, uh, pilonidal if you want to look it up. That's what I got. And so I kind of got lazy and I was like, this thing hurts. It feels horrible. So I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing any work. So I basically just don't. And then, I look at my grades and I did a bunch of work before I looked at my grades. I did a bunch of work and I looked at my grades and like, it's been like 5 days since I did a bunch of work. My grades aren't in. And it's almost, the end of this quarter. Holy shit. I'm gonna have like, I'm gonna go from being an all A student my first semester to like having D's. I was like, oh my god. And I didn't like get like mad at myself necessarily, but I looked at that and I was like, yeah, it kind of feels the thing of like you just like, oh man, I'm stupid now because I did so much worse than I did before. But then I think it was around the time of I think it was Jay Schlatt. He has like the weekly Slap channel. I don't think he uploads anymore there, but I saw one of his videos. I think it was about the imposter syndrome thing, and I was like, it's right. It's just because you're not doing it now doesn't mean that you didn't do it before. At the end of the day, I mean, I still graduated with A's and B's, so it was fine. But at the end of the day, you're still you still look back that and it's like I did that. You know, just because I'm not doing it now doesn't mean that I didn't do it. I still got A's, like all A's, at some point, and that's enough to look at and be like, that's better than like as I was saying, uh, that's better than like 90% of the school in my area. So like, at the end of the day, you may not get all A's in your classes, or you might not make 4,000, not 4,000. You may not make like $10,000 this month, but the fact that you actually did that, you accomplished that at some point in your life, you hold on to that. You need to hold on to that and just be like, I achieved something. I didn't just because I'm not doing it now doesn't mean that I didn't do it before. And that's basically just the moral that I wanted to say in this video, and a little bit of a story time too, because kind of told just the story of my grades this past year. So yeah, I don't know if it'll be footage for the last like minute or so of this, but if you want to know what the game is, it was on before. It's Elite Dangerous, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.